Коллеги, добрый день.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues. I'm glad to greet you in our session dedicated to the interactions of business and academic sphere. We've already started to talk about startups, innovation, innovating projects, and we are going to continue this topic. The first speaker is Evgeny Dmitry Melnikov. He's going to talk about innovations in railway development. I'm really glad to greet you, dearest colleagues. Today, this event is really essential. No, we can't hear from the microphone. Can you hear now? Yeah. Of course, the best venue is really up to date, and today we can find some solutions for the really up to date issues. The day after tomorrow of nowadays, it's really up to date for the railways, and we see the future of railways as some digital and eco-friendly field, and this field is acceptable for everyone, for everything, both for our passengers and citizens, and us railway workers as well. And I would like to add that nowadays, since this geographical and political situation, some logistics changed. So we used to be oriented towards west. Nowadays, that's the opposite. And cargo shipment should have some innovative approaches to fulfill the government orders and all other tasks. So Kuibyshev railway is near Privolzhye, and we are in the center of our country, so that makes us complete the tasks and perspectives of our development, to think through some ideas which are really essential and introduce them. If we're talking about the prospect of innovation nowadays, different types of wagons, cars are implemented in our railway and logistic management of trains, route projection, and train movements. So nowadays, the staff doesn't even need to have any key access to some procedures, and it's implemented in some parts of our railway infrastructure, but of course we want to have them with even with a new innovative vector in our structure. So altogether with the Ministry of Development and has been created, so it's already translated in different regions of our country, like Ulyanovsk and Tatarstan, and we have really close collaborations with the Republic of Bashkortostan, and some solutions of these projects are introduced in different railways, not only for Kuibyshev railway, but in other parts of our railway as well. So it's more than 50 million rubles for some purchases and so on. So, and it's going to grow, and we're going to purchase even more, and they are really greeted in a really great way. So we have some competitions of railway communications, and we collaborate with the Republic of Bashkortostan as well, and the organizer of this competition is the Ministry of Innovations, and some financing support has already been allotted to this organization of this competition. So this program of innovating activity is really important, and we invite you all to participate there. So I would like to say that railway is the main core of the country, and nowadays we fulfill the tasks that we face because of the government and the industry itself. And to sum up, I would like you to watch the video that shows our innovation tasks. Nowadays, Russian Railways is a support of the country that provides development, and Kuibyshev railway station has created the great structure of innovations. Transfer of innovation, that's a new way, and creative ideas, synergy of opportunities, and simple solutions are replaced with really innovative and breakthrough solutions. So nowadays it's forming its own innovative ecosystem, and it goes far beyond the time. Kuibyshev railway station is the drive of innovations. Here, the external financial support has been attracted. A lot of online hackathons and other events have been organized, like collaboration of Kuibyshev railway station and support of different startups. So we have cooperative co-working, introduce innovations, we promote efficiency. So it's digital signaling to detect the railway crew. We monitor the infrastructure of self-driving trains. It's eco-friendly, green, and we've got a lot of innovative services for clients. We transfer the information, the data in a protective way. New challenges set new tasks. So we create new cooperative chains. Nowadays, Kuibyshev Innovation Center, it's today, tomorrow. There are a lot of centers of competencies and industrial technological parks. So we create the future of railway station. Thanks a lot, Evgeny Dmitrovich. It's really interesting to listen to your projects, about your projects, and see the examples. But I would like to hear from you as a deputy chief engineer. So that's great responsibility. Everything should be ideal. Startups are always just whipped out because there is not enough money. People should create MVP and so on. So how can we unite this idea appearance and its introduction? Because the products that you need, they are not just ready, but they should be tested before that, and it's quite expensive. So I would like to see your view of an ideal project life cycle in terms of money and time involved, so that railway starts selling. Indeed, railway is quite a complex mechanism, and so we can't just bring up an idea and introduce it straight away, because it's quite complicated. The idea should bring a lot of compliances with different laws and so on that are connected with the safety of train navigation. If, as it was shown in the video, like a virtual online signal person, if they're present, yeah, that's about the safety, and yeah, a lot of people should be tested. So yeah, these stages will be talked about a bit later, but the mechanism of introducing this startup brings this going through this procedure. So all of these procedures are agreed with by laws and so on. So do you cooperate, do you support anyone when someone looks for the certification? Because, well, yeah, a lot of landfills and some special areas are required. Yes, of course, we support everyone on each stage, all of those groups, we support them. So, of course, everyone is interested in this. So the heads of our companies and everyone, so innovations are introduced in railway sphere. And we know one of the projects in Kuibyshev railway that was piloted, that was about train schedule. Yeah, we know that. So it's great that there are some innovations that appear. It used to be quite difficult to work with railway, but nowadays it's getting easier every day, even for small crews, for small teams. So do you have any accelerators? Like recently it's been announced that railway has some accelerator. Is it you who have that, or what? It's centralized in Moscow. Thank you. Okay, so Irina Antonovna, we are going to give you the floor. Can you please tell us in detail about innovative development? Good afternoon, dear colleagues. I don't even want to call it a report that I'm going to say. I would like to show you all the structure of innovations. So where are innovations and where's railway? Yes, it's been mentioned that we have a lot of limits in terms of security or access, but we do everything according to all GOST and all other rules, because each startup is unique and each solution is unique, and there are some certain access terms for that. So can you give me the clicker, please? Yeah, thank you. In 2019, we were one of the first who started implementing innovations in our Russian railway, and one of our regional areas, regional venues was opened. So now we can say that expert community has been formed, and people get access to this here in our venue, and they get a really quick feedback. When they address us, we connect them with certain experts from particular fields who are interested in your solution. So our processes seem quite complicated. But yeah, as I thought yesterday, while traveling by train, what can people see? That the train driver and the conductor, those are the people who introduce our profession, but there are a lot of other functional directions. That's about infrastructure, and all carriages, and of course all conductors and everyone. Yeah, we focus on optimization to make our services more eco-friendly and to save up some money, of course. Yeah, of course, our motto is we change for you. So our original innovative venue works with the development of ideas and moving to prototypes, and we work together with our partners. We attract school students to provide solutions. We work with some universities, and we have industrial partners there. So we've formed some 4 particular directions. So it's predictive analytics, quantum communications, automation and robotization of processes, and analytics of dislocation of workers. So of course we focused on looking for substitution of important products, and we have some experience in realization of financial support as well, and we develop on different levels. So talking about some, some kind of startups to real monumental projects. We've built a really positive collaboration with innovative structure of the Republic of Bashkortostan, and if we have a lot of projects nowadays, more than 100 projects are at work, and about 32 solutions have been introduced in railway, and they are being promoted. So in the Republic of Bashkortostan, the potential is great, but something went wrong. We analyzed that. So of course, the first thought was that you don't finance any development, but we have one project which is being introduced. It's this company, a hematolog, and we're going to buy it next year. We already have some funds allotted to that, and we have some projections already. We usually plan our expenditures 1 or 2 years beforehand, and we have a program of innovation support. So we try to introduce innovative solutions. And here's one of the projects that we have been working with since 2019, and it's been accompanied by different administrators in our venue, but we hope to see that introduced next time. That's about fixing of different machines, railway machines. And we implemented this tool in 2020 in Samar region, and nowadays it's being widely used everywhere. So we're talking about this competition that is introduced in different regions with our industrial partners, and our Ministry of Economics is also supporting that. So we've already held 9 competitions, and next year we're planning one here in the Republic of Bashkortostan, and the main fund is about 15 million. Yeah, and some details will be set a bit later. But yeah, it's fundamental work, of course. So it's not just to come to the beginning of the competition, but this work should be done beforehand, in advance. So let me show you the way of holding these competitions. So we have a couple of regions like Ulyanovsk Oblast, Tatarstan, or Republic of Moldova, where they had about 9 competitions, and about 34 projects have gained their support. So, yeah, that And some of those projects are already introduced. For example, the measuring of sizes is already introduced, where people can send their ideas and it can be accepted. So that was the first project that we financed in the Sama region, and that tool was for measuring was developed. So nowadays we have enough of them to cover all needs. And this project is already purchased by other railways and so on, like Gorkovskaya Railway, for example, or Dальний Восток Railway, and others are also getting interested in this project. Smart railway station, cloud smart monitoring is already in 3 different railway stations. 2 of them are in Kuibyshev railway, that's Samara and Ufa, by the way, and also in Volgograd city. So these projects are really have a really high demand. So, and some agreements have already been signed, and the procedure of delivery is already going on. Right, so another project is about special layers in railway station already implemented. Yeah, and that's quite successful as well. We do not focus on some competitions for financing, but anyway, we develop and expand our opportunities, and more about 60 million funds are financed. It's about 11 projects that have our support. And we also have an experience of introducing some loans for industry development. It's about 300 million. And this year, all together with Startup Studio in Mordov Republic, in Ogarov University, we collaborate with them, and some nanotechnology center, like a venturing fund, they've already offered to invest in 4 products that we're interested in, and we're working on that at the moment. And one of the competitions was organized with a venturing fund. Yeah, that's a bit another story, but anyway, it's quite perspective.
And as I mentioned before, we work with different types of innovations, and some that makes better, and some digitalized innovations that we have determined earlier, and why we treat it carefully, because we understand that it's during the development of the work, it's really responsible work, and even though it used to be performed by humans, but now we try to replace them with the different devices. And the organizing of personnel on the railroad, approximately 500, and some of the effects are colossal. And speaking about our own demands, what innovations are we looking for? And we decided for ourselves the destination of like analysis, technical diagnosis, ecology, and we have already forms on the railway. We have different innovations. Is 343 innovations, that also concerns the Kuibyshev and it's really dynamic and it changes within a year. It's not just some made-up demand that was made up by a person, or just an idea. It's a huge work in each demand and where to start for your understanding. And for you to understand that it's high demand, we transfer it to the central apparatus so they can consider it as an interesting topic. But the range and the point of view of the central apparatus is quite huge, better than ours. We don't know. You can see the QR code here. That's the link to our page on the innovational development. Our contacts are located. You can find it using our link. And our demands for the innovations can also be found there. But I would like to tell that if your solutions are not in the focus of our decisions, or, for example, if you know that it's going to benefit the railways, we also will take such suggestions into the consideration, the promotions, and it can be really interesting for you. And I would like to speaking about those questions that were given before, I'd like to explain that we, as the center of the innovative development, this is my business card. You can reach me or the contacts that you have on the business card. The blue number on the top is my work number. And we are trying to act as a conductors to our innovations. And there's supposed to be a window where you can address and suggest your proposition, and that will lead to the colossal effects. And we also we'll take into the consideration such as projects that we can help to implement, to find people, or the central branch of the company, and some additional certificates, tests that are source universities that like our university, where new carriages are tested. Even the paint, if it's going to be layered, it has to take the certification test, and you have to understand that as well. And we have projects such as LED lights. Some people say, like, what kind of innovation is this, LED lights? You know, really, it looks so really simple, but on the other hand, it has its own features. And we have our special features that we want to be more economic, and we developed the technical task in our Samara company, Energo Standard. They already created the LED light that fits our devices and equipment as well. It has working modes. For example, it has 5 luxes of power lights, or 10, and working luxes that are probably 5 luxes. And they're working on our platform. For example, when the train arrives, the lights switch on, and once it leaves, the light gets dimmer. And what I would like to say, this project had a colossal economical effect because we changed the old lamps, and now we're using LED lights, and we have high efficiency. But even that project had required certificates. So any technical production that has the way to railways company, it has to go through the tests. You know, sometimes we learn something, our new edges, we learn, and then each moment we can say that expertise need to be received. But first of all, we make the pre-tests, main test, and we go through all the stages. We prepare all the documents, and we give all the contacts for the expertises, with experts that are on our sites, working sites. And we have such an effect where we can say that our scientific developments started from zero, and it was a planned technical development for 5 years. But now these competitions and level of the country and our innovations get implemented in 2-3 years, and they get wider in 6 months. And we have huge perspectives with the Republic, with the industrial part of the Republic. We have good contacts, and we have additional tools for stimulation, if we speak about finance. And we need to understand that development will be required, will have a high demand, and we need to start working on these solutions, so we can already have the ready technical solutions, and where we can see that it has a high demand, and it requires expertise report of our customers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Irina Anatolyevna. Maybe you can share some stories of success in figures. Because you've already said about the supporting fund, that a lot of projects are supported, but our main fear is that the project will be monopsonic on the market. Like, there is only one buyer, railway, and if railway doesn't purchase anything, so the project will not have any income. So maybe you can provide some examples of startups that they have been successful and they sell a lot. Well, unfortunately, the specifics of our work is that our field, our branch is quite narrow, but we have some projects which have really high demand in other corporations as well. So this transport accelerator has been created for that. Of course, railway is only one branch, but we have a lot of manufacturing factories and other companies that provide us with rolling stocks, because other companies provide that or manufacture that for us. So that's why we need this transport accelerator. So we provide this interest from different sides. When a project comes to this transport accelerator and we see that it is interesting for different fields like railway, highway, and so on, we increase this interest. So we have some funding competitions, but with industrial partners who we can synchronize our demands with and move in those directions. So there's just idea that hasn't been realized. But anyway, talking about the startups that were tested in our company, are they interesting for other areas? Yeah, of course. But maybe something that's connected with electronics and something like that. But if we're talking about rolling stock, of course we can't see that. And some trucks, lorries like KAMAZ and so on. We tried to communicate with them, and they told us that our industry is quite specific and there are not many connecting points. But we've accepted that. So, and for example, that project MIG that I talked about, it exists in Kazakhstan nowadays. So it goes to other countries like China and Belarus. Our partners who succeed thanks to our financial support go to those companies where their solutions can be applied. We do not limit them. Like, we do not take an intellectual property after such competitions. Of course, the developer has it, and they can use that in different corporations as well. That's quite promising. So, but you get some license if you have this scheme of financing. you have some ordering features. No, we don't have that. But our center is an organizer, and we will have some direct and they will have some direct collaborations with the manufacturers, but we don't have that. Like, we just contribute something, and in response, we would like to have this solution so we can promote it, and that's it. So yeah, we use our budget, and we plan purchasing of a hematology that we're going to do next time. So we've already planned our budget, and we are going to buy that next year. But it's not a license. Yeah. Yeah, I can help you. So yeah, we're working with the railway, and we wanted to hear an example. So we've been working for 2 years, and we had some meeting, and so we're working really close. We're working really hard, and we've already tested 2 engines, and I think that hematology is a potential example for the future. Rishad Gayazovich, yeah, that will be really interesting to discuss your example. But I'm talking about another company, Labsabara. I don't know whether you know them or not, but they have some custom New York. So, yeah, I can't tell you everything within this 15-minute limit, but yeah, they were the pioneers of innovations in terms of co-financing, and we also had this first event called Hackathon. And that project, that lab I'm talking about, didn't win. They took the 7th place or something like that. So they didn't get those winning money for their development. But they are quite enthusiastic, and they are promoting their product, and it's ready, and the solution is integrated into the existing solution. So we have this system of forming travelings of our train crews, and yeah, digitalization of railways is also being developed nowadays, but they haven't been purchased yet, but we are working closely with them. So yeah, they have a solution, and that's their module in our existing system. So we have some other clients, and yeah, we work with our subcontractors, and we work with some fixing program software, of course. Yeah, but it's quite complicated, so it can be done really quickly. So I can't say that the solution that you've already mentioned can exist and have some demand outside this industry. And yes, yeah, great. So some people try to sell that in ship industry as well. But well, that's great that they are so enthusiastic. And I would like to add something. So railway transport is a multifunctional body. If we used to say that it's a government in government, so this is an undeveloped field for innovations, starting from soils that are in the ground and its geology of different studies, metallurgy, and going further to some heavy industry that we're talking about. Yeah, they have a great stage of development. Then we go even higher, that's energy. Talking about all energy development and digitalization. So we have really good pace nowadays. So, and we are one of the best in the world, actually, nowadays. So I'm talking about the infrastructure that is tested and measured nowadays in terms of its size. So based on some really accurate figures, here we're talking about some energy industry or something like that. So all parameters are tested, and all the data which is received can be put into computer, some machine that's going to lay the right route, and that's where we are aiming at. So thanks a lot for your addition, and yeah, there are a lot of things, services involved, financial and educational, millions of people. Yeah, indeed, that's like a state inside a state, of course. So we're moving to Oleg Vladimirovich, and we would like to share some cases of companies that appeared thanks to some demands of our industrial partners, and would like to talk about that experience. Thanks a lot, Vasily. Hello again. I've already seen you in the previous session as well, and to those who are newcomers, hello again. So I was asked to talk about our experience with working with our accelerating programs that we've been realizing in our Moscow University, but we didn't know at that time that it was called accelerating process. So it was something like a competition of students' business plans, and there was some educational program, and that's it. And we were improving that. And when everyone started talking about acceleration, we realized that we had been doing that for quite a while. So we aim at supporting commercializing of different research through creating new companies on the basis of our university. And so we understood that we would like to go to earlier stages when some PhD students or master degree students came to us and they talked about starting up their own company, launching their company. So we realized that we need to systemize this flow as well. We need to educate them and support them, help them make their first steps in business. We looked at business plan competitions in MIT in Stanford, and we saw how it all happened there. So we've seen their experience, and they gave us some supporting fund. That was great, and we decided to apply Oxford Business School approach and thought how to adapt that to our own reality. So how to do business, and it was much easier in the United States or the UK, and people didn't have to be educated. But here, people who want to move in that field should have some education first. But we realized that it wasn't enough as well, and there was just some theoretical course, and that was tied to the stages of company development. And they gave us this presentation of marketing product, showed how some protective strategies of protecting the intellectual property are going to work. Yeah, but then we realized that some consulting is also necessary, and some experts and mentors appeared who accompanied people throughout the whole project, as well as trackers, special people. Yeah. And then the word acceleration, which is quite trendy nowadays, appeared at last. So from 2004 to 2012, about one program appeared every year, as well as a company. So there were about 100 to 100 people who participated. 2030 people participated, and then only a few of them came to the final point. So a lot of colleagues from other universities, like Bauman University, joined our team, and they really practical thinking guys, and we thought we should go not from the ideas, but start from the problems that exist on the market. So we start going around different market companies and providing them our offers. So we said, yeah, you have some internal product and you developing that, that's great. But if you're a technologically innovative company, you have some ideas and hypotheses that need to be tested, and probably there you have some issues. So to take away some existing resources in the company are already involved in all the procedures, like people already occupied, so it's quite hard to test all the hypotheses. But we have those teams and we have special structures to accompany those hypothesis testing, and maybe they will find some solutions. Maybe that will be kind of your project team that will work within the company and will work on developing that project. Maybe you will be interested in spin-off launching altogether with those people. So we'll help to structure that interest. Or maybe you will find a lab within this program that will work, that will do some research that you will order. So that was for some medium-sized companies, because it was quite hard to address huge corporations, but it was in the past. Now the situation is changing, and like in 2018, 2019, we started addressing petroleum companies, for example, that started grew the interest, and we looked at their practice, got their feedback, and we thought, okay, maybe we can order this methodology of such a program, so every technological park can take over that methodology. And within a year, we prepared that methodology for a team that can introduce that in their technological park or university. And we provided some studying materials for those who come to this program, so for participants of this accelerating program. And for the past 3 years, when we handed over these ideas to other universities, like Moscow State University or something like that, we've already had about 10 of such cases, and we've started offering that to other projects. So, the Bridge to the Future project has appeared that we propose to the whole country. So it's been in a nutshell about the program, and I was asked to talk about that in detail. But when we come to a company, we need to find some industrial partners who might be interested in that, what we sell, how we educate our students, what values we have. So we go around those companies and offer that. So as I've said, current hypothesis testing demands a lot of expenditures in terms of staff and so on, but our teams are ready to work for free. And when we're talking about some prototypes, we find some fundings, and we're interested in implementing as few funds of our industrial partners possible. Right. We're also talking about some competencies that people should have, like it's about management and engineering and business competencies, entrepreneurship as well. Like, what should we teach? Some people have that, like, genuinely, and people can gain that while with their experience, but it's quite hard to teach that at university, for example. So as we say, we do a real project. Those who do that get a good mark, and those who don't just drop out. So first students laugh at that, but then they realize and they start doing with their own hands, and then they get that experience. So quite often, this interest and experience are really important, and such people with these competencies are quite interesting. So as I said, we compensate some expenditures to test those hypotheses inside the company, plus collaboration with universities and students form quite a positive image of a company. So that's what we sell. And how it happens. When a company is ready to work, it takes a couple of meetings of our experts and consultants with the representatives of that company, because quite often the tasks that are received from the company are quite challenging, which cannot be solved by just students, for example, even though they are quite experienced, but they are young, too young to solve those problems. So we've had such experience. So, for example, there was a task to develop a new breakthrough medicine for cancer treatment. But of course, the team of about 5 or 7 young people cannot solve this issue. So first we need to talk and find those tasks which can be solved and can build kind of business, can grow into business for those young people. So we give ideas to those young people, and thanks to them, they can launch their own business. So that's the idea. As already been mentioned, it can be one only like sole task for a company when they can become subcontractors for such companies. But if this mono idea is not solved, so yeah, there are quite high risks of starting up something new. When there are such risks, representatives of a company give a presentation for those young people that are recruited for that team, and they're quite disappointed that some people do not want to enroll. So, but why? But why it happened? Because people were not ready for that, were not prepared. But then people prepare a presentation quite thoroughly, and then there is a whole line of people who would like to join that team. And it's a great opportunity to see how people work. Plus, it's quite important to have a person who is ready to spend some time to interact with the team, to kind of kick them so they start working, and to provide some feedback. So that's how we build this interaction with the company and young people. So the main message that we're trying to provide: please focus on real problems. If you find a problem and focus on its solution, you will manage to make money or even change the world. So this is our ideology that we promote even within school students. So we have some federal competition which is called Shoestring, like for quite smart and able school students, and they get the first experience in the projects and working with projects. Then they come to our university and then join our program. So we form this society of interested young people, and it's a key moment. So last time I already talked about some companies, but here are some other companies as well. But I suggest that we do not stop here, so because we've already exceeded the time limits. Yeah, we have some time. We can talk about Movicom, which is not presented on the slide, but anyway, since we have some railway colleagues here, I can talk about Movicom company. It's an industrial partner. The people who grew within our university, and they they had some hobbies. They worked with robots and so on. But now, yeah, they work with robots all around. So probably you've already noticed some special robots that look like spiders moving on a rope and taking a video of an event. So that's their creation, and they provide this solution. They are official supplies of FIFA, and they came to our program, and their task is to manage such robotic systems. But when they started, they just managed some loading machines, and there are some forklifts. Yeah, there are some tasks of managing such machines, and now they have a huge turnover. They've created BMS, which is it's a program apparatus solution, which is quite protective, which can be put on some batteries, and they can be monitored. Their efficiency can be monitored and can be controlled through cloud technologies. So, and yeah, that starts from just battery control to energy provision. So probably you already have such tasks, so we can bring those, that company, those people to you. So I can wrap it up here. If you have any questions, I will be glad to answer them. So I give the floor to the moderator. Thanks a lot. And we keep talking about railway innovations.
Please, Rishad, can you tell us about your case? Organizers, can you please help to start the presentation? Is it? So while it's starting, I'll begin. I'd like to say that for today, 25% of company evaluated annual waste of unexpected vacancy and technical that costs that more than 15 million rubles. And that problem, I started to solve it in 2003. I used to be as the head of the machinery development, and I used to work in 11 neighbors in Ufa. And all the pictures that I have in front of my eyes is that we need to shake the persons to make them understand how important it is. Or, for example, you drive a car, and somewhere on the highway you got stuck, or on the truck, and let's speak about the cars. And they stopped as well. And what happened? There was a problem in the engine. There are some special services that it's a lot of stress. And if we speak about this problem in reality, in the scale of our republic, first of all, the ecology suffers because the repairment is taking place the petrol and different material also pollute the environment. And our small community, me and my students, I'm a professor of the university, started to solve this problem. So take a look to optimize the expenditure on the technology service, or the reduction. Or, for example, you bought a car and after 100 kilometers, you went for the capital repairment. All right, you got it repaired, but what are the resources of the technical resources? They are 500,000 kilometers, the resources of the machinery. So we need to take it under the control. For example, the locomotive, right exploitation, to take care of it, to avoid different failures. For example, the Scania cars, we installed the sensors that we have developed, this resource sensor. And we stopped the car, and so our sensors, the expenditure has already reduced, and our sensors, we also make tests on the Belaz trucks. There are more than 100 liters of oil in a car. So that's the sensor. It has a block, and it looks like a drainage cup. And as we can see, you can install it and see it in the online mode, and you can take a look and see how the failure it goes to the end. For example, the oil has 30 features, and we can see if it's whether a bad oil or a bad engine or the process is bad. You don't have to analyze it in a full scale because there is a laboratory for it. But if there is a where, there is a reason. For example, recently we have a case. Mercedes arrived to us, and what happens? He puts in oil where that one he bought online. We analyzed it, but it was fake, and we concluded it was fake. It was fake. Only specialists can understand the quality of the oil, the industrial oil. And for example, this set of equipment, the analyzers that you can see here, our probes and sensors, or this viscosimeter. It's unique. It's not that expensive, and it helps to understand, to avoid failures on the early stages. And this is the table that sensor gives on the device. As you can see, green is the good, it's normal wear down. But for example, as you can see, the kilometers, there is a red dot. The wear has increased of the car. And the reason was 0.3 milliliters of water in the system. If we haven't seen it in the transfer case, we would have failed the car. The car, you can see it was on the photo. That's the oil expenditure on the odometer. I wouldn't say that it's fake, but it's low quality. It has spent 6,000 kilometers. It's 50 milligrams for 100 kilometer. And as you can see, we can look at the viscosimeter. It replaces 4 bigger viscosimeters. You can see the scale. It has own thermostat. For example, at the railway shop or repairman shop, you can see the change of the quality of the oil periodically, or the analyzer. returning back to it, it helps to understand if it's half synthetic oil, you put just 1 milliliter, and we see the percentage. And in the best case scenario, it's half synthetic. And during the work, the oil gets oxidized. And there are additives, and we see how it increases. If the electricity of it gets increases 2.5 to 0.1, it means that we have to change the oil. If you're not going to change it, the wear increases by 20%. And the third, using the analyzer, we can determine the time when we need to change the oil. Every 18,000, I change the oil because I have such opportunity to change the oil. Why? Because I have my own laboratory, I have my own lab. Not everyone can afford a laboratory for themselves. 1 or 2 times of bad oil, it can, and you can buy it 1 or 2 times, and I'm telling you, it's not a secret data. Analyzing the leading companies like Mobile, it doesn't mean that they also give you a technical support. No. But the resource will decrease constantly. And for example, we put the indicators of wear, and we can see that on the early stages, the failures that are gonna appear. And at the end, I wanted to interest you as well. That's the most simple way. There is drop probes. The mechanic of the shell company has seen that on the paper. He saw the drop of the oil, and with the different areas, and has zones. And those additives cannot go through the paper. That's why they use it as an indicator. But that drop probe can determine the presence of the petrol, some mechanical additives, different impurities. And we have developed the indicator that determines the resource of the fresh oil. For example, this oil here that is demonstrated, there is an image of it. The first drop, that's the 5, 10, 20, 30 minutes. You can see as it gets formed. For example, if there are impurity additives in the oil, some washing that is 80%, wear down is a couple of percent, and etc. And you can see that this type of oil will not harm the engine. What's the basics? Is it good or not? Can you see the edge of the diffusion zone? If the better the additives, as you can see that donut, gets thinner. So we can determine the presence of the additives, and we can differentiate the oils from each other. And we can understand that it was made here in Russia. And how do I determine it? According to the size of the outer diffusion zone. Here, for example, on the warehouse, you mixed with the different barrels. And this indicator allow you, I will analyze 10 barrels, and I will tell you, this one is engine oil, this is the brake fluid, and etc. And this oil has not enough of anti-wear down properties, as you can see on the pictures. And it will allow you to differentiate like the crow from the sparrow. You don't have to have a special knowledge, but you can use the probe. And how it's happening, and how it is done. As you can see, we put one drop, and here, and these are the stages of the expanding of the drop, and how it forms, and how it get formed. So this is the approach for the engineer. So he can periodically check the quality of oil. He will approach it by the window and see if the oil is okay or not. And he can understand whether it's antifreeze or engine oil. We can teach a person, or for example, just like me, I got that virus, and I'm worried because I know that person. The person forgets. And you can count how much you spent on the spare parts, how much you spent on the repairment. And then we can understand that how modern it is and it's important, and why I'm telling everything. Our company and I call our organization Good Hands. But the experiences that I don't have enough resources to teach them all and to tell them it's not that expensive, it's useful for you. That's my job right now. That's my work. Thank you very much. And do you have any questions? I think to be in real, you have really good skills because you presented your product perfectly, even though I decided to get one for myself. So can we go to another commentary of the Russian railways?
I would like to say that Rishad Gayazovich is a great example of a highly interested person who is interested in his project. We included him to our program of innovation support. Some budget is already allotted, and he will start next year. And not every company has a leader who can introduce the project and show its efficiency right in a tireless way. So, and that's great. And a lot of people say that, for example, railway is a really stiff company who are not flexible. Well, that's not true now, because now we have some innovations, and we hope that next time we'll tell you. So we have such things working. We hope that will be in the future. So, dear colleagues, do you have any questions? We still have some time. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. I represent Concern Automatics in this region, and we represent BP Progress factory since 1942, and its main competency is telecommunication, and all the companies work for the Ministry of Protection, but one of our main ideas is to develop this citizen interests, and our president ordered to increase our radio industry as well. Oh, sorry, I'm a bit nervous. So I worked in P Polygon, telecommunication manufacturer, about implementing new equipment. There is this understanding that railway is a place where it's difficult to get in. But anyway, we equipped curtains bridge, and we added some communicative equipment there, and some other CCTV equipment as well, and different airports as well, like in Vladikavkaz and other places. So, and we're busy with some maintenance, like superficial maintenance of different machines, and we considering some projects from railway. We had some orders from Gorkovsky Railway or some other, but Kuibyshev Railway is the closest for us, and we would like to establish some relationship with you. So, yeah, we don't have a startup, but we have a factory, and we establish close connections with the Ministry of Industry, and we're launching a project. I went to this zone of special operation, and I'm in charge of developing drones based on Russian components and details. We're going to use Russian parts for those drones. And we are testing some protocols based on import substitution. We tested that in Gazprom, and we supply some products there as well. And along the railway, we worked with Telecom all around Russia. So they have about 32. They used to have about 32 branches, but now only 5 remained. Can't tell you for sure. So yeah, we have some protocols for testing. So I have a question. Well, I have a lot of questions, and I would like to talk to you personally within this event, probably. So the question is about import substitution, about telecommunication. So our factory is focused on secret communication, protected or encrypted communication. So we have a special button that protects from external influence, and it encrypts this communication. So how can we communicate with you, like, to get some developments of research and advanced development? So yeah, I would like to answer. So if you're interested in financing of your ideas or development of your company, you can participate in competitions. We don't have any limits for the size of a company, so we have a practice of attracting grants based on our some governmental rules, because you need to have some big turnover, and we prepare a special letter, and you write your demands there, and so on. So this we're talking about financing. If we're talking about communication that your products comply with our demands, yeah, you can scan the QR code that was on the screen, so you can scan it and see a series of different demands for substitution of different control details. So if we're talking about this control details, track machines, so we don't have them nowadays, and it has quite a high demand. Yeah, we have a research center, and we don't have a full cycle, only about 30% of our manufacture, and we provide those machines, the track machines, and we have some manual maintenance and everything. So if we're talking about some military factories, then we have some particular demands. And nowadays we provide some plugs and monoblocks. And so I suggest that after this meeting we're going to talk closely. Yeah. So see, looking at all the recent events, all the companies have to protect their sites. So we understand that nowadays Western companies provide Ukraine with drones, which have this thousands of kilometers access, and we have some manufacturers like Bashkortostan, for example, that builds anti-drone system. So we had this order for anti-drones and other protective systems. But we face this problem that, a drone is flying. How fast should our protective systems react? So if we just take away all the energy from this drone, it will fall on the city. If we redirect it, where should it go? Like, we thought about that, but it didn't work. So, moreover, the problem is that all the processes of security movements of those domes have this problem. So there is a train going and doesn't have any radio station and can't take any action. So that's also a problem. Plus, talking about telecommunication, we had some requests from a service telecommunication company, like developing some radio station. And in December, we're going to have a meeting with your colleagues. So talking about dome, this is a dome that covers the radio signal within 2 kilometers, and they don't see their drones, for example. So, and at the airport, we have some systems where dome just stop the frequency working. And of course, there are some requests and some match with between the companies. Not even talking about some research companies, but later in person we can talk about that. But I can keep talking. I'm sure of that. You saw perfectly. Yes, please. I don't hear. Please, we don't hear the. Hello, I'm talking on behalf of the Institute of Mechanics, and we had a request of participating in a competition of looking for some innovative solutions for contact for different networks of wireless contacts. So we have this technical assignment. So who can I talk to directly? Did you have that request from railway? Yeah, we have this request for such innovations. We have some United Windows called for innovations, and we have some technical assignment for that. But it's quite limited, and there are some questions because of that. You address us, and we provide some communication. While during the meeting, you can ask all your questions to this functional client, potential client, who can apply all of these solutions. So you can talk to me. I will provide you their business cards. Great. Are there any questions? Any other questions? Thanks a lot. So, dear colleagues, if you don't have any other questions, we can finish our session here. Thanks a lot for your attention, and we can continue with private meetings. Thank you.